Welcome to my weekly Wednesday Wisdom video. I'm coming on a little later than usual today because I've had kind of a weird day and an opportunity to experience how, even though I've let go of all the anxiety and self-doubt and fears that used to live with me on a daily basis, I still occasionally find excuses to put pressure on myself and to make my peaceful life difficult by getting thoughts and entertaining thoughts that things should be a certain way, that things need to happen at a certain pace, and that I should be performing at a certain level. So I've been patient with myself today and tried to have some compassion. What happened was that earlier my husband got a bill in the mail that hadn't been paid, and he kind of panicked about it. And he kind of blew his top, which is not the norm for him. He's normally a very peaceful guy. And I immediately felt how contracted I felt inside because I did not want that to be happening. I want to live in peace and harmony 24/7, which may or may not be realistic, but it's the norm for me now. So when someone does get angry or raise their voice, or something triggers in me a childhood memory of drama or stress, I could really feel it physically in my body, and I was able to respond peacefully. I was able to be calm and patient with him, and we worked through it, and it all worked out just fine. But I also was able to observe how that was a trigger for me that made me physically feel contracted, tense, and under pressure. And then from there, the rest of the day, there was this kind of low grade like pressure about, I need to get this done, I need to get that done, I need to get on Facebook and do my live today. And I got all the things done. And it's never the crisis that we think it is. No matter how stressed out we make ourselves, no matter how panicky we seem to be in the moment, it's never the end of the world. It just isn't. That's just a belief. That's a crazy thought that we have been taught to entertain, to try to get us to act, do things, take action. And it's much better to take action from a place of peace and calmness. You can think more clearly when you stop and take a breath and relax. You can tune in to Holy Spirit and ask for guidance and move forward with assurance and calmness. So the title of my talk today is The Portal, and what I wanted to share is how these kinds of upsets can be a gateway for us to another way of living in the world. And you may be familiar with the fact that many spiritually awakened people had huge crises in their lives that sort of put them up against the wall or forced them to reckon with the fact that whatever they were doing in life wasn't working for them, and things were not working out for them with the way they had been doing things. And this is one way, one very difficult way of coming to terms with the understanding that our ego is not our amigo. The ego is trying to protect us, but it's doing so in all the wrong ways. It's doing so by telling you to panic, by telling you to get your act together, by putting pressure on you, by making you explode at other people. And none of those things are effective in the long run. So a crisis can be an opportunity. In the Chinese language, the word crisis and opportunity, crisis is combined with something going wrong and the word for opportunity. Every crisis has an opportunity in it for us to change direction and to have a different experience. So the way that happens, the way that one moves through that portal of feeling stressed, anxious, uptight, nervous, depressed, whatever the situation may be, is complete and total surrender and acceptance. The ego hates that. The ego always wants to change things and do things. The ego is the doer in our psyche. Acceptance and surrender is what brings us to the place where that portal can open. It's almost like magic, really, because as long as we're going about our lives and we're doing things and we're trying to make things happen and we're trying to control things, that portal stays closed. When we get to the place where we are so frustrated because we realize that no matter what we do, things are not working out for us, and we're willing and able to just throw our hands up in the air and say, I don't know what to do. What I've been doing hasn't been working for me. I need help. I'm willing to just accept things the way they are and let go of the reins. That surrender and that acceptance opens that magic portal, opens it up so that we can pass through to the other side. And on the other side is where we can become co-creators with God. On the other side is where our thoughts begin to create our reality. The ego thought will never create your reality. Or the ego thought will only create a reality for you that's miserable, is more accurate. But it's not going to manifest your dreams and your desires for you. Ego cannot do that. It doesn't have that much power. So the ego world that most of us live in is the one that's full of opinions, full of judgments, full of ideas about how things should be, how people should act, what should be happening in the world. And it is the release of those notions that opens that portal. And that's what forgiveness is, as described by A Course in Miracles. It has absolutely nothing to do with looking at what's happening out there or what someone else is doing and making a conscious choice to overlook that upset, that activity, that offense. That's the Christian definition of forgiveness, which means to pardon. Forgiveness, as defined in A Course in Miracles, is about letting go of our judgments. We forgive the situation by no longer having an opinion or an upset about it, by detaching. It's about detachment. It's a completely different definition, right? So my experience has been that when I was younger and I tried very hard I knew what I wanted and I tried very hard to make it happen with hustle and grind, with working and struggling, with pushing. And that will get you somewhere eventually, but it is such a hard way to go through life, and it creates a lot of misery for you and everyone around you. But when we get to the place where our back is up against the wall and we see that this way of going through life is not only ineffective but exhausting, there comes a turning point where we can say, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't want to live that way anymore. I want life to be easy and relaxed. I want my life to be filled with peace and harmony, and that is more important to me than what it is I think I want, because those things we think we want, we turn them into idols, right? The Course calls them idols. When we believe wholeheartedly that our happiness depends on a relationship with a certain person, or acquiring material goods, or the government making certain decisions, or our health being a certain way, we can never pass through that portal to the other side where it's sunshine and roses. We can't. It's like those are the things that block us. It's like, here's the portal and here's the blockage. The blockage that prevents the portal from opening is these ideas, these beliefs that we have to have things to be happy. We have to have things be a certain way. And we think that we can make it be that way through our own efforts. So you won't get aligned like that. You won't manifest anything like that. It's about letting go of all of that, letting go of our firm belief that things should be a certain way, people should be a certain way, the government should be doing certain things, letting all of that go and just accepting that the ego has no power in this world, It's never going to make anything magical happen for you. And relaxing. Relax and trust. Relax and trust that God has your best interest at heart, because he does, or she does, or whatever you want to call it. The infinite intelligence that created all of this loves you and wants the best for you. And you don't always know what's best for you, but that energy does. So when you step back from the worldly problems, take a breath and ease into a sense of relaxation and trust that everything is going to work out, everything is always working out for you, and everything is always going to continue to work out for you. Even if you don't know what that's going to look like, then that magic portal can open up and you can slip through to the other side. And when you slip through to the other side, you'll be like, oh my God, why did I try so hard? Why did I try so hard? The Course said I need do nothing, but I kept trying to do stuff and it wasn't necessary. I just made myself stressed and miserable, and I made everyone around me stressed and miserable. So it's always from this place of deep inner peace and relaxation and trust where we can make the best decisions. And from that place, we can follow our desires. And we can have a different experience in the world. And we actually become co-creators. And we can start to attract the things that we want in life with our thoughts, with our focus, with our attention. You can't do it from this side. So I don't know if I'm making this clear or not, but over here, it's hard work, it's hustle and grind, it's ego, and it's stressful. And when you let all that go, and you're willing to not do it that way anymore, you can shift over to the world of the Holy Spirit, where life becomes about flow. It becomes about alignment with our divine creator and flowing through life by getting our thoughts aligned, following our desires, but not being attached to the outcome of our desires. We decide to be happy no matter what shows up. And when you practice this and you become an expert at being happy, the Course says happiness is a decision I must make. When you become an expert at deciding to be happy at the beginning of the day, no matter what happens, and then keeping your commitment to yourself to be happy no matter what happens, you will find that the things that make you happy will come to you automatically and easily. So that's my message for today. I'm Teresa McGallicher from the Miracles Tribe. Carly and I would like to engage with you some more on Zoom coming up in the future. We'll be posting here on the Facebook group about some conversations that we'll be having if you'd like to join us. And until then, I hope you have a great life. Love you. Bye-bye.